Hi guys, it's Ray. This is going to be the first of 4 fall tumblers from the August 2024 Butterfly Lane Design subscription box. This spray paint job is atrocious. This is a 30-ounce skinny, and I forgot to buy white spray paint when I was at the store, so I had like the dregs of a can, so it went on really badly. A lot of this is getting covered in vinyl, but I'm going to put a little bit of white glitter in to hopefully hide some more of the flaws. So I'm just kind of coating the surface because I'm going to do like the wet method for application. I'm not going to do like full coverage. And I am also going to use Touch of Rose. Initially I was only going to use the Touch of Rose, but I think the white is a needed step here. So I'll probably add rose to another layer also, but that'll be determined later. So, and I did mix up 25 mLs for this tumbler because it's a large tumbler. So we're going to get this applied. And I may or may not have all 4 of these put up like back-to-back days. I haven't started the rest yet, and I'm a little leery of putting more on this phone. I am going to get a new phone, but I can't do it for at least till the end of this week or early next week, depending on how time works out and if they have the phone in stock. So I'm a little leery of putting too much on here. Part of why I don't put stuff into cloud storage is I don't have home internet. We've been over this before. I don't really live like way out in the country, but we are in an area where we don't have cable lines, we don't have FiOS, we don't have any of that. Our only option is satellite internet, and if you've ever had or have satellite internet, you know how expensive it is for what you actually get. So we actually canceled that years ago, and we just run from cell phones. So trying to move any kind of video or anything back and forth between storage is a nightmare. So I've just relied on my phone. I do all of my filming, editing, whatnot on my phone. I very rarely do any of it on the laptop. Also because I don't really like the software on the laptop. I find the phone much more user friendly for me. So no, I don't back anything up to the cloud, generally speaking, especially since it's such short term, typically. It's just easier for me in so many ways. But my phone had tried to do like an update, and I think the update failed because there are other things that I know were in the update that I don't have on my phone. So I think somewhere in its attempt to do the update and it failing in the update is where my data got breached or lost. But I don't know. I'm just trying to move on from it. But again, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, so that's why I'm not sure exactly what order things are going to come up. And this is not covering as well as I would have liked, unfortunately. But I think I'll still be okay. I don't know if I want to just do a full coverage at this point or not. If I do a full coverage at this point, I'm going to have to add a coat, and I've already cut my vinyl, and I'm worried about it not fitting over the coat, if that makes any sense. So, I'm a little bit on the fence here. Like, I think it looks good in camera, but I think in reality, I don't love it so much. But at the same time, I was kind of planning on keeping this tumbler myself for work, so maybe we'll just sprinkle a little bit more white on here. I just don't want it to get too thick, is my concern. Okay, so I should be able to get another coat on this fairly quickly because I am using turbo, but I will show you the vinyls. This is what I cut for the bottom vinyl. I kind of picked the part of the vinyl I wanted to use. So I'd actually cut the top and the bottom of the sheet off because I wanted a full section of the plaid, if that makes sense. So this is going to be the bottom piece. And then this is going to go above that. So I cut the height and then I cut my height and then cut my corners, my triangles out. So that'll be that piece. And then this is the decal for this one. And then lastly, on the bottom, I'm going to use some part of the element sheet. I haven't decided if I'm going to use any of the florals yet, but I am at least going to use some piece of pumpkin. But like this piece of floral would work with the pumpkin for the bottom, so I may do that. I haven't decided yet. So this is going to get dry. I'm going to put another coat on so it's smooth over this glitter that I just added. And then we will move on to our vinyl and decals. Next coat, this is also going to get a little bit of touch of rose. Just to even out where I put the additional white. Okay, so we are ready to work on this one some more. We're going to start by cutting anchor points on our vinyls. With the triangle point ones, I like to cut a triangle off and then another small section to actually use as the anchor. This might be a little too small, but we're going to roll with it. My hands don't want to work. Okay. So I'm going to pick the best looking spot to use as the front where my main decal is going to go. And I think that's going to be in here. So I'm just going to kind of drape this over. And yep, this is what I was afraid of by using too much epoxy. I am now possibly not going to match up my vinyl. So I may have to add a little pinstripe there, which is certainly not ideal, but it'll work. Because I don't really want to cut more of the vinyl up for this. When I pre-cut my vinyl, I was intending one coat of epoxy. I'm just kind of stretching it a little bit because sometimes you can get there, but it's not quite gonna make it. So we'll pinstripe there and it'll be what it'll be. And then our clear vinyl, ooh, it's still a little bit tall because I didn't come all the way to the bottom. And because this is clear, I don't want to overlap, so we're gonna cut a little bit back off of this. Which I don't want to use this trimmer for. I use this one because it has smaller measurements. I'm just going to cut about 1/4 of an inch off. Okay. I'm going to keep that one handy because we're going to use that again shortly here. Trying to line it up somewhat evenly, the point to the center line. And this is only going to have a tiny bit of overlap. So I'm going to hold this side down really well. Peel out my anchor. And then apply the vinyl the same way. Obviously, because this is clear and there's no print up here really, it doesn't even really look like there's vinyl there, but we will pinstripe up to the point. So we'll bring that angle back. Okay. And let's see how our decal is going to fit perfectly. And I don't always anchor my decals, but I think because this one has straight text, we're going to. I'm going to cut this quite a bit closer to this scarf just because I don't want it overlapping the vinyl. I might as well just give the whole thing a secondary trim. There. Okay, so that is on. I'm going to figure out what I want to do on the bottom. And these are UV DTFs, so they will stick to anything and don't necessarily have to be sealed, but in this case they're going to get sealed because they're going on an epoxy tumbler. I'm just going to do one of the little floral sprigs and one of the little pumpkins. I'm going to set my sheet aside to go on the rest of the tumblers I'm going to use it for. Okay, so the UV DTFs are a little bit different. They have a front backing and a regular backing, and only the ink transfers. So I'm going to apply my floral first. I'm going to put down here. You're going to want to burnish these really, really well, especially around any small pieces like these leaves, the little details. And once it's on, you're going to get an edge of the clear. And slowly roll it back. It doesn't actually stick to the ink. It just, if you're not slow and careful, you might lose some of the little detail. So there is that. And same thing with the pumpkin. So there we go. So pinstriping. I'm going to cut some gold strips because I don't want a holographic on this, so I don't want to use the nail tape. Gold or copper? Actually, I think I'm going to go with the copper. Kind of a rose gold copper look. I think will be pretty here. So the first thing I want to do is cover this seam, since I am not happy with that. but this is where we're going to bring that angle back in. Beautiful. Okay, so there we go. We are going to get this over and get epoxy on it. I am probably going to put another little tiny bit of touch of rose in just to jazz up the plaid a little bit. Okay, so my epoxy is mixed. I'm going to add my little bit of touch of rose. Not a ton, like a half a scoop. I just want a tiny, tiny bit of sparkle this time. Okay, so this will get one more clear coat after this. No more sparkle or anything. She's good as is, but this is our final look. Love that decal. The clear vinyl is gorgeous. Hopefully you can see that sparkle. I know it's got it on top, but it was also underneath, so it's extra sparkly. And then our super cute plaid. See, the sparkle just brought it to life a little bit more. Just waiting for that stripe to come around. And I don't even so much mind the pinstripe. If you run into something like that, especially on a plaid like this, I could have like wrapped another one around the center and added some more to make it look more intentional. And our little bottom UV DTFs. So that is it for this one, and I will see you soon for the next one. Thanks for watching.